There we go. Making sure this is actually streaming before I start doing anything. So I am testing out a new camera today. So you can let me know if you notice anything hopefully better about the picture, or at least not worse. For me, one of the advantages is I don't have to tilt my computer screen to get the camera at the right angle. So it makes it a lot easier for me to see what's going on the screen. Things like chat. Okay. Kicking off with some Beatles today. I should have known better with a girl like you, that I would love everything that you do. And I do. Hey, and I do. Never realized what a kiss could be. This could only happen to me. Can't you see? Can't you see that when I tell you that I love you, oh, you're gonna say you love me too. Oh, and when I ask you to be mine, you're gonna say you love me too. So I should have realized a lot of things before. If this is love, you gotta give me more. Give me more. Hey, give me more. I never realized what a kiss could be. This could only happen to me. Can't you see? Can't you see that when I tell you that I love you, oh, you're gonna say you love me too. Oh, and when I ask you to be mine, you're gonna say you love me too. You love me too. You love me too. You love me too. All right, things are showing up in the chat. Good morning, Peggy. Good morning, Renfried. That is good to see, because my viewer count shows that there are no viewers, but the chat shows that there are. So sometimes technology is weird like that. The next song I want to do for you is an original. It is about how soon is too soon to start bringing your baby to your role-playing game, your Dungeons and Dragons game. And the answer is there's never too soon. Earlier. You got to start earlier is better. This is called Baby's First Battle. Open up your eyes, baby, watch and learn. This'll be you one day. Open up your mind, baby, let it fly as your parents play. Baby's first battle, we felt the timing was right. Baby's first battle, we hope we're not up all night. But you gotta start young for maximum fun. Gotta make them say, please, can we play some D&D? Mama's a tank, baby, it's alright. She'll take those hits with a smile. She's got a necromancer down at her feet, and she's been quaffing a beer all the while. Baby's first battle, we felt the timing was right. Baby's first battle, we hope we're not up all night. But you gotta start young for maximum fun. Gotta make 'em say, please, can we play some D&D? Daddy's real silly, baby, that's his style. But don't underestimate. He'll whip out his lute whenever there's a need and prestidigitate. Baby's first battle, and that's charisma +2. He's weak on will and fort saves, but he's awful cute. It's just play, it's just pretend. Please don't be confused. Our chaotic party burns everything in sight, but they'd never hurt you. Baby's first battle, and that's charisma +2. He's weak on will and fort saves, but he's awful cute. 'Cause you gotta start young for maximum fun. Gotta make 'em say, please, can we play some D&D? Good morning, Michael. That's fine, Peggy. We'll take your company as long as we can get it. That's the royal we. How about a little Judy Collins? And flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feathered canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I could have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds, illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. And Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds. I've looked at life that way. But now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. Good morning, Terry. Thank you. All right, I'm going to switch over to auto harp. I haven't done that for a while, partly because I've been trying to do more standing shows, and I do not have a strap to be able to hold the auto harp standing up yet. Some of you may remember Lucille, the auto harp. I was practicing this song yesterday and it felt really low in my range, and I couldn't figure out if I just needed to warm up more or if my range was shifting a little bit or what was going on. And then I realized I was playing it in the wrong key, which is a little bit surprising because there's only so many keys that you can get on an auto harp, and this particular song uses quite a large variety of chords, so there's not very many keys that you can actually play it on the auto harp in, but I was using the wrong one. So when I bumped it up 4 notes, that made a big difference and it wasn't out of my range anymore. This is Peter, Paul, and Mary. Know me by the light of the fire shining bright. Know me by your bed where I've lain. Know me and you might, if just for a night, you'll know me by no other name. Some girls will bring you silver, some will bring you fine Spanish lace. Some will say, I love you. Some will have my face. Some will bring you gold and babies to hold. I bring you only pain. You can know me if you will by the wind on the hill. You'll know me by no other name. Some girls will die for money. Some will die as they're born. Some will swear they die for love. Some die every morn. I'll die alone, away from my home. Nobody knows where I came. The stone at my head will say I am dead. It knows me by no other name. right, this next one is an original, and this is going out to Katie Hicks. This is somebody that I know from various conventions, in particular MarsCon. And she had requested that I write a song about fan fiction authors, specifically female fan fiction authors, because they often do not get the respect that they deserve for the work they put in and the creativity they exhibit in their work. And this is what I wrote. So this is called The Story Behind the Story. There's a story behind the story she finds intriguing. A life lived off the pages, adventures off the screen. She writes the story behind the story to find new meaning. She'll build this world one story at a time. There's always something more they don't tell her. Questions that she knows the fans will ask. She's determined to tell it true. It's research and imagination too. There's a story behind the story she finds intriguing. A life lived off the pages, adventures off the screen. She writes the story behind the story to find new meaning. She'll build this world one story at a time. They barely scratch the surface in the movies. Shadows paint the years ahead and gone. But she's got persistence, she'll fight past resistance, bringing vision into existence. Don't try to get in her way. A geek girl's got to have her say. She'll weave the threads of canon beginning to fray. There's a story behind the story she finds intriguing. A life lived off the pages, adventures off the screen. She writes the story behind the story to find new meaning. She'll build this world one story at a time. She'll build this world one story at a time. Okay, we're going to follow that up with some Everly Brothers, for those of you looking for something to sing along to. There goes my baby with someone new. She sure looks happy, I sure am blue. She was my baby till he stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. Bye-bye love, bye-bye happiness. Hello loneliness, I think I'm gonna cry. Bye-bye love, bye-bye sweet caress. Hello emptiness, I feel like I could die. Bye-bye my love, goodbye. I'm through with romance, I'm through with love, I'm through with counting the stars above. And here's the reason that I'm so free. My loving baby is through with me. Bye-bye love, bye-bye happiness. Hello loneliness, I think I'm do harmonies off. I want to do one more on auto harp before I swap back to guitar. So this next one is another original, and this is about the Great British Baking Show. So I hope there's at least one other fan watching right now. This is about the original, at least as I know it, before it was taken over by Netflix, and Mel and Sue were the hosts. This has been a godsend to me during the pandemic. It's one of my relax and zen things to do, is put on the Great British Baking Show and maybe knit along while they are doing their baking. It's the Great British Baking Show, and how did I never know the blissful appeal, the Valium-like feel of watching these bakers knead dough. It's the signature challenge to start. These bakes need to come from the heart. Traditions of old and new flavors bold, each bite is a work of art. What will the verdict be? Will it be sheer perfection? The judges come round to the tables to partake of each baker's confection. A bite, a pause, and then it's raw. Tati buys and it's off to the next round. Challenge comes now, and none of these bakers know how. The recipe's sparse, Mel and Sue lead the farce, and mistakes just cannot be allowed. What will the verdict be? Will it be sheer perfection? The judges come round to the tables to partake of each baker's confection. A pause, and then soggy bottom. Tati buys and it's off to the next round. Now the showstopper challenge comes last. Poured alcohol more than a splash. There are people in tears, many blunders and cheers, as the towering cakes are a mass. What will the verdict be? Will it be sheer perfection? The judges come round to the tables to partake of each baker's confection. A bite, a pause, and then a Hollywood handshake. Tati buys and it's off to the end. One final judging occurs over tea. We see shots of sheep, flowers, and bees. Star bakers awarded, one baker's dreams thwarted. Tati buys and it's on to the next episode. Tati buys and it's on to the next episode. All right, give me just a minute here to swap back to guitar. So for those of you who are not aware, when I restarted this a few weeks ago, I decided that each show I was going to try to do a completely different set and see how many weeks I could go without doing any repeats. So I'm trying to do a mix of originals and covers each week that are different from the previous weeks. So you are going to hear some of the more familiar songs that I do in my rotation a lot, as well as a few of the lesser known covers and originals that I'm going to pull out and make sure that they are ready to be performed when I wish them to be performed. And I imagine that you will prefer some songs to others, which is absolutely fine. But it's still nice to have a mix, I think. Like this one, I don't pull this one out a lot. This is an Irish number, so typically I will bring it to the assisted living facilities in March and play it a couple times then. But outside of that, it doesn't get a lot of play in my rotation, but we're going to work it in today. I've been a wild rover for many a year. I spent all me money on whiskey and beer. But now I'm returning with gold in great store, and I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I went into an alehouse I used to frequent, and I told the landlady me money was spent. I asked her for credit, she answered me nay. Such custom as yours I could have any day. I pulled out a meat pocket, some 10 sovereigns bright, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskeys and wines, oh, the best, and the words that I told you were only in jest. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I'll go home to me parents, confess what I've done, and ask them to pardon their prodigal son. And when they've caressed me as oft times before, I never will play the wild rover no more. And it's no, nay, never, no, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. Yes, it's no, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more will I play the wild rover. No, never, no more. I always find classic Irish songs the best to sing along to. It's hard not to want to harmonize and maybe get up and do a little jigging when you hear those songs. This next one is pretty different. This is an original off of the Waiting for Nothing album, and it's about how people in the world who are seen as different by whatever other people can be treated. She was walking by the riverside, came back dancing and talking of what she did find. She'd always been a plain girl, nothing to mark her out. Something sure had changed her, and they wondered what she was about. Listen, my people, the world's not as dark as it seems, as you want it to be. Listen to all of the truth that I offer the way it's supposed to be. There's a spirit there in the river, or many I should say. There's life there in the river, and so much more than any of us can know. The people turned away or shouted over her words, and they told her that they'd hear none of her make-believe. You've closed the shackles around your own wrists, locked yourselves away from the fear that a choice you make could set you free. Listen, my people, the world's not as dark as it seems, as you want it to be. Listen to all of the truth that I offer the way it's supposed to be. There's a spirit there in the river, or many I should say. There's life there in the river, and so much more than any of us can know. One warning was all that they'd give her, just a one chance to see that no light would brighten the darkness of their fears, of the lives that they knew. They dragged her back to the river, weighted her down with stone, and they gave her back to the river that she loved, that she called her own. There's a spirit there in the river, or many I should say. There's life there in the river, and so much more than any of us can know. There is freedom for us if we seek it, if we lay expectations down. There's a path where living awaits us. There's so much more than any of us can know. All right. Hello, Snowy White. Thank you. Yeah, I do have a nice array. Most of them are mine, but the drums in the back there and the bass belong to my husband. He's really the percussionist and sort of low-end voice of our jamming sessions. Although I'm having fun, I'm listening to some of the mixes for the new album, and I've got some cello parts in there that I recorded. I got an electric cello over the summer, so I'm a beginner at it, but I was able to add some kind of simple bass line type things going on. So it's exciting to hear that coming together. And good morning, Enfys. Happy Thursday to you as well. It is so hard to keep track of days right now. I mean, it's been like that for a while, but the last month or so just seems very odd to me. You know, I get to Thursday, I feel like it's the beginning of the week. Possibly that's because I often end up working over the weekends, playing for virtual conventions and such. I've got one more for everyone today. I will be back again next Thursday and every Thursday for a while at 10:45 on all of the channels that you are on now. If you're looking for something of mine in between that time, you can find me at rhiannonslark.com. And that has my upcoming show schedule online, of course, as well as where you can stream my music and find me on Patreon and some details about my background and all that good stuff. But I thought I would wrap up with something a little bit lighter and sweeter today. This is from Alison Krauss. It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark. Try as they may, they can never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. Truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. Touch of your hands as you'll catch me if ever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. All day long I can hear people talking aloud. But when you hold me close, we drown out the crowd. Old Mr. Webster could never define what's been said between your heart and mine. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. Truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. Touch of your hands as you'll catch me if ever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. Truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. Touch of your hands says you'll catch me if ever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Thank you, everyone, for joining me for a little bit for some music this morning. I will hope to see you back here again next Thursday at 10:45. Until then.